In this video, we're going to go through adding your own images to the presentations. So we'll start by going to the presentation screen and going to the Images tab. Now there's 5 different image types. We're going to start with the background images. Now these are just as it says, images that will appear in the background of the presentation. You can have as many as you like, and it will just rotate through after every round. So you can import your own images from your own computer, or you can import our own sample images, which is what I'll do. So you can see we've got a nice range of images in here that you can select from. For now, I'll just pick these nice dark blue and black ones and import. Now that we've entered in some background images, we can now use them. If we go to select our senior football presentation and go to Start, you'll see it's now using the backgrounds that we imported. If I go to the next round, you'll see it uses the next one and rotates through each round. And now we'll move to sponsor images. Sponsor images are shown at the bottom of the screen during the whole presentation. They can also be set to be shown in the top right corner in the preferences, if you like. Just like background images, they'll rotate every round, and they're shown 2 at a time. So again, we can either import them directly from your own computer, or import our sample ones. So I'll go through and pick a couple of sample ones, import, and now if I go to start this presentation again, you'll see we now have 2 images, 2 sponsor images. And if I go through to the next round, they'll rotate, and they'll keep going through. Next we'll move on to the player images. These will show next to the player's name during the presentation. They can be set to show on each vote, on the leaderboard, or on the final results screen. You can set where they'll be shown in the Preferences tab. So I'll go ahead and import a player from my computer. Now player images need to be linked to a player. A pink background means that this player hasn't been linked to someone in this current vote file. So to link it, we push the Edit Player Name, and then we select the player from the list. So I'll just pick Ben Smith. This is Ben Smith. Then I'll save. Now it's gone green. So this photo is now linked to Ben Smith in this presentation. If I change the presentation, it's no longer linked, because there's no player in this one called Ben Smith. So I'll go back to this one. Now if I go to start the presentation and show the first vote, you'll see his face now goes next to his name. For now, I don't want player images, so I'll just remove that one. And we'll move on to player club logos. These are similar to player images in that they'll appear next to the player's name when the player is shown. The difference is that the club logo will show next to any player of a certain club. As you can see, club logos won't work on my currently selected vote file, because this one doesn't have any players recorded to certain clubs. So if I change this to my league presentation, I can now import. I can import my logo. And again, pink background means this image hasn't been linked to a club in that presentation. So I can go through, select the club, save. Now it's green. So now if I go through and start, go continue. Now that's Moama's logo next to the player's name. And I can go again, and if I go again, see Echuca doesn't have a logo, so I just get their name. And I can get out. So again, I don't actually want any club logos right now, so I'll remove that, and I'll move on to the logo image. The logo image is designed to appear during the entire presentation, and is generally your club or league logo. So if we go to Import Image, I'll import my logo again. Now when I start a presentation, you'll see it will now just show up at the corner here. And if we move through, that's just always visible the entire time. Pretty simple. It can also be moved down into the bottom bar here with the sponsor images. That can be set in the Preferences tab. So we'll get out of there. So that's all the different image types. All of them are completely optional. You only need to use the ones that you actually want. And one last thing with images is, because all of these images are global, that means they're used by all of these presentations. So all of these sponsor images will currently be used by every presentation that I have. This is where image groups comes in. These allow you to have a different set of images for a different presentation. So say if I need a different set of sponsor images for my football presentations to my netball ones, I can then create a new image group, call it whatever I like, football. Now I can add some images. Let's go ahead and select a couple of images here, import. So you see I've got my football images, and if I change that back to default, I've then got these ones again. So if I now go ahead and run a presentation, you'll notice that it should have these images down the bottom. If I get out and change the image group, it should now have these images. You can automatically link these image groups to a certain presentation in the schedules. That will be in that video. So that is everything for images.